I'm counting down my favorite movies from every year since I was born. Let's continue.
If you don't mind, we're trying to watch the movie.
What's up guys, Mike here. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button down below to get more of it on your feed. Okay, so this is part 2 of this video series counting down my top movies from every year I was born. Last video was 1994 through 2010, the first 16 years of my life, and now I am going to be doing 2011 to 2024. I think it's interesting to see how the list changes in the second half of my life in tone and vibe, but at some point stays the same. So let's suss it out. This is probably unsurprising, but my favorite movie from 2011, without a doubt, was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
You have your mother's eyes.
I still to this day have never gone to a movie and been more excited and had that many emotions. I went to the premiere of this movie at Crown Casino here in Melbourne. That was 13 years ago now, which is time really flies. The hype at the time was unreal. I've watched it countless times since, and to be honest, I just think it was a great way to wrap up the series. There was a lot of fan service, and I think they did a really good job kind of replicating the book.
Harry Potter is dead!
Moving into 2012, my last year of high school, I think my favorite movie from that year was Chronicle.
A lion does not feel guilty when it kills a gazelle, right?
I remember really enjoying this movie when I saw it in cinemas at the time. It was really unique as well. It was found footage style about a bunch of kids that get superpowers. And I thought it tackled a lot of really interesting subject matter like depression and like having an uncomfortable family life and just trauma in teenagers. It's a really good movie. Definitely watch it. 2013, my first year out of school, bit of a curveball, but my favorite movie from this year is probably Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
This is based on a true story of a hijacking of a boat, and Tom Hanks plays Captain Phillips, the captain of the boat. Not only is it just breathtaking in its acting, it's just a really harrowing true story, and it's just fascinating to watch how this sort of pirate takeover of a ship actually took place. 2014 has 3 contenders. Honorable mentions go to Birdman with Michael Keaton. I really feel like this is a film. Like, there is so much meaning behind this movie. I like that it's all depicted as one continuously long shot. And I think Michael Keaton's sort of meta performance as kind of himself with Batman in this movie is so fascinating. Guardians of the Galaxy that year was really a breath of fresh air for what Marvel was doing at the time and kind of expanded what Marvel could do in a way that maybe has backfired on them now. But to be honest, my favorite movie from that year is definitely Big Hero 6.
Fist bump is not in my fighting database.
No, this isn't a fighting thing. It's what people do sometimes when they're excited or pumped up.
Also technically a Marvel movie, but also a Disney movie and an animated movie. I just remember really enjoying this movie and thinking it was just so great. And I had never heard of the Big Hero 6 before, so it was all kind of completely new to me, and I just thought it was a great take on the superhero genre, and I loved the setting of San Fran, Tokyo, blending like American and Japanese culture. Really good movie. 2015 was pretty hard to decide. 2 highlights are Ex Machina and Spotlight, but at the end of the day, I kind of thought the best movie from that year was Star Wars Episode 7.
Chewie, we're home.
Again, I just remember a lot of hype around it and really just enjoying this new Disney-fied Star Wars world. That doesn't mean I enjoyed the rest of the trilogy, but I did think this one was pretty good and I loved Rey. 2016, there's a clear frontrunner, but I do want to give an honorable mention to Your Name, a Japanese anime film that was really great and has a really shocking kind of twist halfway through that you don't expect. But my favorite movie from that year is definitely Lion.
I'm sorry.
This is another Dev Patel film. I really like him, but if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Another movie based on a true story, and to be honest, just one of the most incredible and uncanny human stories ever. They say the truth is stranger than fiction, and I think this movie actually proves that. Just remarkable. 2017, an honorable mention to The Shape of Water, but my favorite movie from that year is definitely Coco, the Pixar movie.
Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be.
I saw this in cinemas at the time and I was just blown away by the message of the movie. I also thought it was really great how Disney and Pixar decided to make a movie about death and also family trauma. I just felt like it was a great way to explore like a more complex theme in a kids movie, which eventually would lead to stuff like Inside Out, which I think was equally useful. But Coco is just incredible. The music is beautiful and gives me goosebumps. And I literally watched it last week and I was in tears at the end, like always.
Remember me.
2018 was also pretty tough. I loved Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I also loved Hereditary. But at the end of it, I think my favorite movie from that year was Bohemian Rhapsody, the story of Freddie Mercury and Queen.
I've got it. Got what? AIDS.
I mean, the music is just so iconic and I really enjoyed the performance by Rami Malek. I just thought they really brought Freddie Mercury's story to life and it was fantastic and fascinating to watch. 2019 might have been the hardest with 5 movies that I was tossing up between. So honorable mentions go to Avengers Endgame, Yesterday, Detective Pikachu, and Joker. But the crown goes to Midsommar by Ari Aster.
What's this? It's a special meeting only for the queens, and she will bless you.
I don't know if I would ever watch this movie again, but it is certainly a movie that made me feel so uncomfortable and awkward and scared and just like confronted by the subject matter of what was going on. It's like a folk horror movie and it's really intense, but at the same time it's just so well made and intoxicating, like you can't take your eyes off it, and I always remember that as how I experienced it at the time. We reached 2020, start of a new decade and the middle of the pandemic, so it was kind of slim pickings. I'm gonna go with 2 here because one is very personal to me, but I don't think anyone else would know it. That is the movie Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kazuna.
You know, Ty, you sure have gotten big.
I was a massive fan of this franchise as a kid and have kind of followed it on and off as it's continued. And this movie was essentially the end of the saga of the original season that aired back in the late 90s. It was nostalgic, but it was also incredibly sad. I was crying a lot. But since a lot of people probably can't relate to that one, I'll also throw up Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, looking good.
I'm a massive gaming fan, I'm a huge nerd, and I just love what they achieved with this character in a live action setting. 2021 was so hard, I have decided that I'm going to give it to Spider-Man No Way Home.
Peter! Yeah? Oh, sorry. Did you mean that?
The other choice, which is so close behind, was Luca, a fantastic Pixar movie that came out that year. But to be honest, the hype of No Way Home almost rivals the hype I had around Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It was just like the uniting of the 3 Spider-Men on screen and kind of knowing in the back of your head that that was going to happen, but also not being 100% certain. The second we see Andrew Garfield and then after that Tobey Maguire, everyone just lost their minds and I loved that experience in the cinema. 2022 was also kind of tough. I really enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I also quite enjoyed A Man Called Otto. That's another one with Tom Hanks. I also really liked Bullet Train.
Between us now sits a wall. But it's an illusion.
That was a Brad Pitt movie set in Japan, pretty much all on a bullet train. I just thought it was a really interesting narrative and some of the music were like Japanese versions of popular songs in the West. I just honestly really enjoyed this movie and would watch it any day of the week. 2023, there's no contest. My favorite movie of that year was the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, what? I'm a cat? You got the cat box! Oh my... Ah! Oh, I'm sorry.
Again, I just thought Illumination brought it to life so much. There was so much attention to detail. It was just so on point. I thought the voice actors did a great job. I loved Donkey Kong. So many Easter eggs and cameos and little extra bits for longtime fans of Super Mario and Nintendo. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. Finally, with 2024, there are two runners here. I don't even know which one's my favorite, so I'll just give you both. Deadpool and Wolverine, I honestly thought the fan service in that was amazing. I have a review of it up on my channel if you'd like to watch it there.
Oh my god, he's gonna say it. Say what? Avengers! Flame on!
Sorry, what now?
We don't know that guy.
But also Inside Out 2, I thought it was better than the original. I thought the way they handled anxiety and how that could help kids understand how their brains are working was amazing.
Get ahead of myself. I'm anxiety. I'm one of Riley's new emotions, and we are just super jazzed to be here.
I also have a video reviewing that on my channel. But that is it. Those are my favorite movies from every year I was born, 1994 to 2024. I turned 30 in about 2 months' time. This is crazy. Life goes by so fast. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. I do a bunch of pop culture content all over YouTube, and I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool. So check it out. All the links are below. Subscribe, comment, all of the above. That's pretty much it from me for this one. My name's Ready Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I'll catch you later.